I've been tinkering with electronics and actually writing software too since literally I was 5 years old.
I really enjoy designing and creating things, and I don't really see borders between disciplines.
For me, engineering brings technology together to make useful products that can benefit people's lives.
I've just grown up doing it. Probably like many engineers, watching Star Trek as a kid, seeing Scotty, save the day on many occasions. Like, I want to do that.
Having all of these tools available to me to create things is just endless amounts of colors in your palette to make paintings. So why do artists become fascinated with art? I suppose because of the ability to express their creativity, and I don't see engineering to be any different.
I always did it. I could never imagine not doing it.
I'm interested in the new technologies and features. Because the new version is about to be released, I wanted to see what's coming up next.
I like keeping up with the latest and greatest, seeing what's happening and what's coming.
We've got 3 new technologies that we're showcasing here at the Roadshow, and they're very exciting. We have SIVA, we have the PDN Analyzer, and we have Draftsman. These 3 tools will address some of the major challenges that every engineer has in the life of being a design engineer.
Parts obsolescence is a big issue. Everyone's always trying to sort through.
Manufacturers are buying the parts regarding to our specifications, but if a part is no longer available on the market, we are the last ones to find out about it.
SIVA brings to you all of the information you need to know about components. What are they? Where do I get them? Who manufactures them? What is the life cycle state of that component? Never again should an engineer be faced with a situation where he designs in an obsolete component or a component that's not recommended for new designs. And trust me, in my engineering career, I've done that. Yeah. That is a huge problem in industry. PDN Analyzer in Altium Designer is very exciting. Typically, the design engineer would have to export his board to another third-party tool, Hyperlink, SciSoft, Ansoft. That process in of itself is tedious and time-consuming. And then you have to be something of a physicist to understand that tool and run it.
So, right now I have to go through a relatively painful process to export things into, say, ANSYS, for instance, to do some of the high-speed signal integrity and power integrity analysis.
PDN Analyzer in Altium Designer is designed in such a way that the interface is very user-friendly. Anyone that can design a board can use the PDN Analyzer. And it gives you information that is very, very hard to achieve from an anecdotal standpoint or just kind of looking at the board and guessing. The PDN Analyzer solves this by showing you where you have choke points in your current flow, where you have your voltage drops across vias and so on. Do I need to add a few more vias here? You will see that information up front in the design process, so you don't have to spin a board and then have it fail and then go through the whole rework process, ECOs, and that eats time, it eats money, and especially small startup companies, they just can't take that burden.
Having that right in Altium to kind of give me a good first pass at it, that's great. I still have to go and do the formal analysis in another tool, but that kind of gets me about a 90% solution within Altium itself, which is real big help.
Altium Designer has always been on the forefront of the documentation side of EDA. One of the things that engineers using Altium Designer have had to do in the past is bring a 3D model of the board into some sort of an MCAD tool, whether it's SolidWorks, Pro-E, CATIA.
And I'm typically exporting Altium Designer DXF into AutoCAD. I'll have to add title blocks and all these other types of things you'd have to do with any 2D drawing in, let's say, AutoCAD. I can create beautiful documentation that way. I'm a wizard at AutoCAD, but it's still manual and it's still tedious.
Within Altium, I like to have all the data necessary to produce all the drawings, the fab drawings, the assembly drawings, everything, all within a single document, so that I can just run an out job and just output a series of things. So I basically press one button at the release process and get everything.
What Draftsman allows you to do is take the board and, in an assembly drawing, look at it on each edge, as well as then add around that all of the other documentation features you need to describe that. Your layer stack, your board views, you can flip the board and look at it from both sides. Your drill drawing and drill table, which are dynamically linked, both can go directly into that same drawing. It's pretty exciting because now we can make a drawing totally showcasing the entire product.
It looks like a really powerful tool. I just started playing around with a beta of that yesterday, and that looks fun. I think I could do a lot with that.
Keeping with the Altium paradigm, where we have our unified design platform and everything is dynamically linked, when you make changes to the board, you just update your drawing. You can even save that out as a template so that you open the same template for every one of your designs, update from the board, boom, you're done.
I'm going to go home today, download 16.1, install it. I'll be playing with the tool immediately.
Look at the last 10 years. Look where technology has gone. 10 years ago, there wasn't such a thing as a smartphone. If you've ever taken one apart, they pack so much technology into that device, and it's just going to get more complex, it's going to get more sophisticated, designs are going to be smaller with more capability.
Oh, actually the thing I think is going to have the most impact on the particular field that Altium works with, PCBs, I think instead of going from a subtractive process like most PCBs are made today, you're going to start seeing additive process boards, basically 3D printed boards. I think that's has the potential to almost revolutionize the industry.
I predict that we're going to see the standard printed circuit board evolve into something else. I don't know what that is, but I've talked with other engineers, and it's time that we evolve the technology into something else. And again, who knows what that'll be, but I think in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see some drastic changes in technology.
If you can start using 3D printing techniques to even print simple components, I don't know if you're ever going to be able to get to the point where you could print out, say, a CPU or something like that, at least not a complex one, maybe a simple one. But you could just go ahead and print resistors and maybe even caps right into the board.
I've been with Altium almost 9 years now, and I've seen Altium transcend from sort of its teen years into adulthood. I've seen some major changes in the company that have been phenomenal. When I first came to Altium, it had kind of a startup feel to it, and now we have grown into a world-class company. We now have direction, we now have a purpose, and we are fulfilling it. It's very exciting.